Welcome everyone. Hope you all are good. So this is Sahil. In this video we are going to see the foundation design of the tall building which we designed earlier. So if you have not seen the video, please go check it out. I will be providing the links in the description. So guys, this is my third and final video for the completion of my course. So please do like and subscribe my channel for further videos. Thank you. Now let's check out the design. We will be going to design a mat footing for our tall building. So let us now see the parameters that we obtained from tall building we have designed earlier. We will be opening the ETABS software and we will be going to our project. You can see the log sign is on. So we know that the analysis has been run in the building. So now let us go to here, Model Explorer, and open tables. So here you can see analysis and results. We'll open that. Now we'll be going to elements output and frame output. So you can see element forces column. So here we will be seeing the table. Here you can see after opening the table, you will find story, column, unique name, output case, case type, step, and other parameters like load and moments. So from here we are going to take our required data. As we are going to design the foundation, we will be seeing the story 1. Here you can see we can go to the story 1, and from story 1 we can find its load and moment values from here. Now we will be seeing the detailing. So here in the detailing you can see, if I zoomed in, it is the 23 story detailing. So we will see here the story 1 detailing. So we'll go to story 1 and click on the floor plan. So here you can see the detailing of the story 1 is shown here clearly. So from here we will be taking the dimension of the story. For double checking the dimensions, we will go to ETABS and we will go to here in the Model Explorer. We will go to the model menu and we will click on structural objects. Here you can see we will go to story 1 and here we will go to the column option. So here after clicking in C1 you can see the dimension is 500 into 500 as displayed here. Similarly we'll close it and go to column 2. Here it is also 500 into 500. Column 3, here it is 500 into 500. Column 4, here also it is 500 into 500. Column 5, here it is 500 into 500. Column 6 is 600 into 600. Column 7 is also 600 into 600. From here similarly we will find all the column dimension values and we will be taking it as our input. Here we will be seeing the problem statement. You can see in this picture column 1 to column 16, all the columns have been named and shown. Each column having a distance of 6 meters from center to center. The safe bearing capacity of the soil is 300 kilonewton per meter square. Allowable settlement is 1 centimeter. From the ETABS we have taken this input. So you can see from the column name are given from 1 to 8 and dimensions. Here you can see column 6 and column 7 with column 10 and column 11 have a dimension of 600 into 600 mm. Rest the columns have dimension of 500 into 500 mm. And in this we have taken the dead load, live load and the material properties. Now this upgrade modulus is soil bearing capacity by allowable settlement, which is 300 divided by 1 centimeter. So we'll convert this 1 centimeter and we'll get this upgrade modulus as 3 into 10 to the power 4 kilonewton per meter cube. The design strip, the column design strip width is 0.25 into L1 or L2. L1 and L2 are the dimensions. Here our dimension L1 is equal to L2, that is 18. So the strip width is 0.25 into 18, that is 4.5 meter. For our convenience we will be taking it as 4. You can see this is the footing design size. So here we will be taking 2 meter extra from our given floor. So our total footing will be 22 meter into 22 meter as shown in this figure. Now let us go to the software safe for our design of this footing. So this is the interface of the safe. Here we will be doing our mat footing design. So now we'll click on new model. Here we'll change the design code to IS 456 2000. Now units will be changing it to metric defaults. We'll click on OK. Now the design preferences will change to minimum cover of the slab. So here note that we are changing the clear top cover to 50, clear bottom cover to also 50, and preferred size, let us take the preferred size of the bar as 22. We click on OK. Now in the project information, you can give important information that you want to show up in the report. So here you can see you can type the client name, project number, company name, etc. So for now we'll leave this. We'll click on OK. Now we'll click on the grid lines only. Here you can see the number of grid lines, grid spacing have been shown. So we will first draw the slab of the building plan. Then we will extend equally on all the sides to make the footing, as I showed you earlier. The building slab is of 18 into 18 meter dimensions. We will draw the building slab of 18 into 18 meter dimension with the grid and then extend it for the mat foundation slab, which is 22 into 22 meter. We will be using 1 meter space grid lines. So we will need 19 grid lines in both X and Y direction. So here we'll give it 19 and in Y direction also 19. And the grid spacing is 1 meter for both X and Y direction. So we'll click on OK. As you can see, the 18 cross 18 meter dimension has been formed here. Now we'll be defining the required properties. So we'll go to define and first we'll define the material. So we'll click on add new material, and as we have been given M40, we'll add the material M40. Material type is concrete, and now you note this one M40, the properties which I am going to type, I have taken these properties from the net. If you will search anywhere in the net, you will get these properties. So material weight per unit volume, that is 25. Then modulus of elasticity, that is 31622.7. Then Poisson ratio is 0.2. Then coefficient of thermal expansion, it is 0.55. The specific concrete compression, that is 40. And click on OK. So this the property which I just typed, if you will find in the net, you will get it easily. Then we'll add the rebar properties. We'll add new property, and here the rebar, that is HYSD 500. Metal type is rebar. Now here this property which I am going to type, this also I have taken from the net. You can find it easily if you search. Modulus of elasticity 1000 and minimum yield stress, that is 500. Minimum tensile stress 545. So these are the property you will find in the net if you will search it, or you can directly get it from me now. Now we have defined the metal property. We'll click on OK. Now we'll define the slab property. Click on slab property, add new property. Here the slab property will define it is same as the buildings property. So we'll click on M40, slab, thickness is 500. Click on OK. Now again we'll click on OK. Now we'll be defining column properties. So we'll click on column properties, add new property. Here we have total 60 number of columns. So out of 60 number of columns, the property are of two types. So 4 columns are 600 into 600 mm and the rest of the columns are 500 into 500 mm. So we'll have to add two properties of the column, that is 600 into 600 and 500 into 500. So we'll add 500 into 500, change it here, click on OK, and again we'll add 600 into 600. Click on OK. So we have added the properties of the column. Now we'll click on OK. Next, we'll be adding the property of the soil subgrade properties. So we'll click on soil subgrade properties. I will add new property. As you remember, The soil subgrade we have calculated earlier in this video, that the soil subgrade was 3 into 10 to the power 4 kilonewton per meter cube. So here we'll change this to 3 into 10 to the power 4 kilonewton per meter cube. We'll click on OK. So we have added the soil properties. Now we'll check the load patterns, load cases and load combinations. So we'll go to define. Here you can see there are load patterns, load cases and load combination. First we'll click on load patterns. So here you can see it is dead, self load is 1 and live load is 0. So we'll click on OK. Next we'll check the load cases. So here it is linearly static. So we'll click on OK. Next we'll add the load combinations. So we'll click on add. Here we'll add two load combinations, one for ultimate load and one for service load. So for ultimate load it is combination 1. We'll click on dead. The scale factor is 1.5 and here we'll click on live. The scale factor is 1.5 and in design selection we'll only tick on the strength ultimate. Click on OK. Now we'll add the case 2. So this is for the service load. So click on dead. The scale factor is 1 and click on live. The scale factor is 1. And in the design section we'll click on service initial, service normal and service long term. We'll leave the strength ultimate and click on OK. So now we have added the load combinations. To exit we'll click on OK. Now we'll draw the footing slab. So here we'll go to the draw menu and click on draw slab. So here you can see the draw slab option is opened. So check for the property which we had assigned. We click on here. You can see the distance has been shown 18 meter. So carefully draw the slab and go back to the initial point to close. Now after constructing the 18 cross 18 slab, we will select the slab which we have drawn. We click on the area anywhere. Now here you can see one area and 4 edges are selected. So you can see we have selected the slab. We'll click on edit and we'll click on edit areas. Here you can see expand or shrink areas has been there. So we'll click on that. So we'll offset it to 2 meters. So it is 2000 mm. So we'll click on OK. So you can see our footing size is now 22 meter into 22 meter, which we have offsetted. Now we'll be adding the columns. So we'll click on draw. Here it is draw columns. So here property below we'll click on none. And property above we'll click on 500 into 500. Height below we'll click on 0 and height above we'll click on 2. So 2 meters height above we'll click. Now let us draw the columns. So remember, out of 16 columns only 4 columns were 600 into 600 dimension and other columns were 500 into 500 dimensions. So we'll draw accordingly. Now we'll be drawing our columns with the help of the sign. So here you can see our columns were 6 meter apart from center to center. So using this length we'll draw our columns. So carefully draw all the columns. So you can see the columns with dimension 500 into 500 we have drawn. Now we will be drawing the column with dimension 600 into 600. So carefully draw the column with dimension 600 into 600. Now we'll close. You can see we have drawn all the columns that are required for our foundation. Now we'll be drawing the strip lines. We'll go to draw. Click on draw design strips. So here we'll select the layer, strip layer A, and the start with left, start with right, end with left, end with right, we'll change all to 4. Now we'll draw the strips. After ending point, we right click on the outside. So similarly, we draw the second one. Here you can see the first strip line is not passing through the center. So we'll delete this strip line and again draw it. So select the first strip line, delete. After drawing the strip lines, we'll draw the strip line for B. Click here B. So in the similar manner, we'll draw the strip lines for B. And always keep note that the strip line is passing through the center. So you can see all the strip lines have been done. So close this window and click on exit. Now we'll be assigning the loads. Now we'll be adding the properties and load to the footing model. So we'll click on slab. So here you can see in the corner it shows 1 areas and 4 edges, which means we have selected the slab. Now we'll click on assign, support data and soil properties. So here we'll give our defined properties and click on OK. So you can see our defined property has been added throughout the slab. Now we'll be adding the load to the columns individually. As we know, for each and every column the live load and dead load are different. So we'll be adding the live load and dead load to the columns individually. So we'll click on first column. You can see left hand corner. So 1 point is selected, which means we have selected first column. So we'll click on assign, click on load data and click on point load. So here first we'll add the dead load. So as I showed you in the problem statement, the table having the dead load and live load with the dimensions. So accordingly place all the loads. So here on I'll be placing all the loads to the each and every column. Now we have added the dead load. Again we'll add the live load. We'll click here live load and we'll be adding the live load. So we have added the dead load and live load to our column 1. So similarly we'll add all the loads to our respective columns. Now you can see we have added all the loads, that is dead and live load, to our respective columns. So as you can notice that the columns having higher dimension are having higher loads than the column having the dimension of 500 into 500. Now as you have added all the loads to the column, now we'll be adding the loads to the footing and the design strips. So let us start with the footing. We'll right click on the footing. Here you can see the footing has been slab type area object information has popped up. So we'll click on design and we'll change the rebar material to HYSD 500 and click on OK. Okay. So we have now added the HYSD 500 to our slab. So we need not have to add the rebar to our columns as it has been added with the slabs automatically. So now we'll be adding the rebar to our strips. So we'll right click on each strips. So and we'll add the rebar material. So we'll continue doing this to each and every strip. 4 in X direction and 4 in Y direction. So we are cross checking the rebars that we have added to each strips. After adding the rebars to the strips, you can click on any of the column, right click on any of the column to view its design and loads. You can see the loads are displayed. As we have added all the rebars and added all the loads to each and every components of our footing, now we'll be running analysis. So we'll go to run and run analysis. So you can see this is the displacement dead that has been shown in this output. So we go to run and run analysis and design. After doing run analysis and design, we'll go to display menu and we'll click on show punching shear design. So you can see some of the values are greater than 1. So we have to reduce the values to less than 1. So we'll click on unlock the model and we'll be changing the thickness of our slab. Let us take 900 mm. Again, we'll click on run. Now again we'll click on run analysis and design. Click on display and show punching shear. You can see still then some of the values are greater than 1. So we'll be again changing the dimension of the slab. So click on define slab properties, modify, and we'll be changing the dimension to 1100. Click on OK. OK. Now again we'll run design. Now we'll see the punching shear design. So here you can see still some of the footings are having more than 1 value. So we'll again unlock the model and we'll change the slab properties and its thickness to 1200 mm. Click on OK. OK. Now again we'll run analysis. Analysis and design. Now we'll be seeing the punching shear. So now you can see all our values are less than 1. So that means the thickness of the slab 1200 passes our requirement. So now we'll be viewing the set display option. We'll view the extrude. Now we'll see the 3D model. So here you can see this is the extrude view of our slab which has been shown here. So this will be our slab dimensions and punching shear values has been displayed. So this is the extrude view of our model that you are able to see. Now we'll untick the extrude view and click on OK. Now we'll go to XY plane. Now we are going to view analysis, design and detailing report of the footing model. So we'll go to display and we'll click the show force strip forces. So here we can view the strip forces. So we'll go for moment, layer A, apply. You can see the layer A moments have been displayed and you can find the values while moving the cursor. So now we'll see the layer B, apply. You can see this is the strip forces of layer B. You can view the forces with moving the cursor. Click on close. Now we'll be seeing the show slab design. So here in show slab design we'll be clicking on impose minimum reinforcement and click on apply. You can see for layer A this is the minimum reinforcement. If we move the cursor you can find the values for the top and the bottom. Now similarly for layer B we'll select layer B and click on apply. And you can see the layer B options have been displayed. Now we'll close this. Now we will be viewing the show slab forces and stresses. So here we'll click on, let us see the maximum moment. So click on apply. You can see this is the maximum moment diagram. If we'll move the cursor you can find the values. Now we'll be seeing the crack width, show crack widths. So we click on show crack widths and we click on show bottom face and click on apply. You can see the crack widths bottom face has been shown. If you move the cursor you will find the values of the crack width and the color of the crack widths have been displayed. So from bar given in the side you can compare the crack widths. So for the top face we'll click on the slab top face and click on apply. You can see these are the crack widths for the top faces. You can easily view the crack widths and their values can be displayed if you move the cursor. Now we will be seeing the results. For generation of the report and the results, we'll click on Run and click on Run Detailing. Select all the three options and click on OK. You can see the detailing diagram of the plan view have been shown. So we'll click on Draw Column View in the detailing menu in the Model Explorer. Now we'll click on Slab View. Click on Plan View. So this is the plan view. Now click on Rebar Table. So you can see the rebar table shows the diameter, shape code and other things which we need to know for the rebar. So click on Rebar Schedule. So here you can see the rebar schedule table have been mentioned. Now click on the bill and the quantity. From here you can find the total number of quantity of rebar of each size needed. Now we'll go to individual slab view. Click on slab 1. We'll view the rebar plan. You can see this is the rebar plan of our footing. Now we click on top reinforcement. So this is the top rebar plan. You can view. Now we click on reinforcement profile layer A. So this is the reinforcement profile of the layer A. You can see. Similarly for B also. If we click on section 1, it shows the reinforcement that has been used and its placement. Similarly in section 2 also. Now you can see this is the cover sheet. Now we have successfully completed the mat footing design of our tall building structure. So thank you.